folks, welcome to Saving Miller. So come along, let's go feed the cows. Now we've made a video about sustainable pasture and how we manage that, how we have the summer grass and the winter grass. Well, during this shoulder month, the winter grass is not growing. It's dormant, and so we have to feed some hay, and I'll show you why. I'll show you what we're doing. So I got 20 bales of hay. We have the 3 steers. I got 20 bales of hay last fall, and around the beginning of about the beginning of November, I started feeding a little bit, and then I increased it as I saw the grass was disappearing. So let's get some hay for them here. Manage the little man. So now we're up to, I'm feeding them twice a day. This is basically the only thing that they're really eating right now because there's just very little nutrition out here on the pasture. So even though I say that it's sustainable, we have these shoulder months where we pretty much need to do something like this. It's kind of difficult to stockpile anything that's effective on a small pasture like this, and so we have found that this is quite effective. This is what we did last year. Tall Bermuda grass just really doesn't stockpile well at all. So as you can see, the Bermuda is very dead here. It's completely dormant. Everything that's above the ground is just dead. And so you can see the rye coming up a little bit. It's not very tall. It's about this tall right now. It's sort of still in its winter stage. So there's not a lot of food there. So in November, I took the cows, I put them on that pasture only. So I didn't rotate them really because, I mean, they were just there. And I fed them hay over there. So I used that as a sacrificial paddock to keep them off of the new ryegrass. And so just this week I've started rotating them through here, and so they're mowing the tops of this new ryegrass off. It's well established, the roots are down, it's good to go, and it's just coming out of that sort of winter phase where it's there, it's sprouted, but it acts like it's kind of static. And so this is what we did last year too. At this stage we started quickly grazing. I don't leave them on there very long at all, and just moving them through quickly, and I'm still feeding them hay so that they're not mowing it down too much. So now I'm going to turn them loose. They want this hay. So now today, they're gonna have access to this. And then tonight, I'm gonna keep them moving. They're gonna go over to the next section. Now, if you remember, we actually grew this ryegrass out last spring, and let it go to seed, and then we mowed it down so it stays on the soil. So all of this that's sprouted here, actually not in this section maybe, because there wasn't any here, but pretty much everything that sprouted out in the pasture on this side was from that grass that seeded it out. Now over here I overseeded it just to make sure, but we've got a lot over there. It's once it gets up above the Bermuda, we're going to be able to see it better. And so I expect that by the time we get to the back end of this paddock, using that rotational grazing where we move them every twice a day, where we give them access to a new patch going down through there, we should be able to come back over on this side and this stuff should be growing. So that's how we manage these winter months with our climate and with our grass. The Bermuda grass is not going to start growing again until May. And so that's why we need the rye to get us, it'll feed the cows from about mid-February until May. So that's what we're doing here. If you've got different types of grasses, obviously it's going to behave a little differently. But this is what works for us. It worked last year, and we learned from it, and so this year we're doing the same thing again. Good luck with your pasture. Saving Miller out.